Happy birthday, first of all.
Okay,
Happy birthday.
you can start with that, but I still want to know. I don't know what the direwolf is. I don't know what this is.
You know what a direwolf is, David? Are you not educated in Game of Thrones lore, David?
You know what's weird? I totally. So here's the thing.
You
Me
like
and Eve
Harry
sat
Potter?
down.
You
Holy
like Harry
shit!
Potter?
Hold on, my fucking headphones are going bazonkers right now. So me and Eve sat down and watched all of Game of Thrones. Okay, like all of it, all of it, all of it.
Send that to Dave in Facebook
I
Messenger.
don't have Dave on Facebook.
Here's the problem with me, Ryan. Things about me that you may or may not know. My memory spans about 48 seconds. Once that
So you have
time's up,
ADHD.
it's gone, dude. It's gone. I don't know if I do this.
Take a test.
I don't think I do this on purpose, but my brain takes in information, absorbs what it finds necessary, removes the rest immediately. It's just a thing I do. So I don't remember the direwolf. Now, if you refresh me, I'd probably figure it out.
In Game of Thrones, the direwolf was like the symbol of one of the houses, but the thing is it's based on a real wolf that lived, however
15,000 years ago.
however many thousands of years ago. Pull up the Time magazine article about the direwolf, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Time magazine direwolf.
Yeah, these are huge animals. These are not like, I mean, wolves are bad enough. These things are fucking huge. And in Game of Thrones, they're they're characters in the story and stuff, but people grew very attached to these fucking animals out of nowhere because of the show. I'm not saying. And this direwolf is going to be like basically the quintessential.
The Return of the Direwolf.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's like a really big wolf.
Yeah, dude, but they took its DNA. Ask how they returned it. They took its DNA and grew the thing, dude. The things were extinct.
Romulus and Remus.
Yeah, hey Dave, what is Romulus and Remus from, David? Do we know? Do you 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 know? Yes, or you just either or you don't. Do you know how Rome was built, David? Romulus and Remus. Okay? They were nursed. They were fought in the wild. They were found in the wild by wolves. And they were nursed to nourishment of men from wolves. Romulus and Remus, and they killed each other. That's how Rome was founded. Isn't that ironic, David? The direwolves, the two first direwolves, like Adam and Eve, David. Romulus and Remus. No worries. All coincidences, David.
Clearly, I suspect that's why they named him that. So 4 feet long, 80. Wait. Oh, at a young age, they're 4 foot long, scale 80 pounds, could grow up to 6 feet and 150 pounds. That's not as big as I suspected they were going to be.
100? You want 150? What do you want? 200-pound wolves, Dave? Dave, when is the wolf scary enough, dude? A fucking 80-pound wolf eats an elk. What are you talking about?
These things would eat a neighbor. No, I'm just saying, dude, that's not as big as you think it is,
dude. No, I don't think you know what a fucking wolf is. I don't.
Terrifying.
Yeah, I don't think you know how big a 150-pound wolf. They eat that. Things eat everything. They're like a third bigger than a gray wolf, dude. Look at that.
Once roamed an American range that extended as far as south as Venezuela and as far north as Canada, but not a single one of them been seen in over 10,000 years. When the species went extinct, plenty of direwolf remains have been discovered across the Americas. However, and that presented an opportunity for a company
David.
Colossal Biosciences.
Yeah, look at all these. Oh, yeah, look at it. This is Remus. He's a direwolf, the first extinct over. How did they resurrect dead DNA, David? How'd they do it? This isn't about a direwolf, David.
Well, according to Jurassic Park,
I swear to God, if they start murdering people and printing clones out, I'm telling you. Tell me I'm the crazy one. They can fucking resurrect a dead wolf, dude.
The colossal scientists deciphered the direwolf's genome, rewrote the genetic code of the common gray wolf to match it, and used the domestic dogs as a surrogate mother, brought Romulus, Remus, and their sister 2-month-old Khaleesi into the world during the separate births last fall and this winter.
Yeah, Khaleesi is the name of Daenerys Targaryen. That's her name given to her by the Yeah. Oh, you would. She's kind of hot, Dave. You would remember a hot girl's name.
I don't recall. Time met the males. Khaleesi was not present due to her young age.
Khaleesi, the one that gets her tits burnt off and still is alive. Oh my god, she lights everything on fire and she's all naked.
I watched it.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, Mother of Dragons.
Shit's ridiculous. What? She's a mother of something.
What the fuck's a woolly mouse?
Trying to bring back woolly mammoths.
Already in March, the company surprised the science community with the news that it had copied mammoth DNA to create a woolly mouse, a chimeric critter with long golden coat and accelerated fat metabolism of a mammoth.
Chimeras, David. We have chimeras.
That's conspiracy though, right?
Yeah, I thought it was conspiracy. No, they're not growing humans in labs. Really, we just grow wolves. We just stop at wolves and fucking woolly mammoths. We made
a woolly mammoth mouse.
Hey, Dave, do you remember last week we talked about a company went bankrupt that had all of the people's DNA that ever hey man, I want to know if I'm Icelandic or not. I'm going to just swab my thing
or something.
Yeah, it's weird how they go bankrupt and a week later we're seeing about resurrection of direwolves. Now, what if they could just selectively gene edit those people, David? A little more compliant Ryan next time on the program, I'm sure. Maybe they'll make my beard fuller so you won't notice. Be nice. I want to be more jacked.
30% of the planet's genetic diversity will be lost by 2050.
Oh, that's weird. I wonder if it's because they're spraying it to murder it, David. That'd be weird. They kill everything and say, "Hey, we can save you."
Oh, here we go. A way for humans who have driven so many species to the brink of extinction to get square with nature. Oh, they're just doing it out of the kindness of their hearts because they feel so bad that humans are killing all the species, Ryan.
Yeah. So resurrect a dead wolf. Wolf was so important. How about resurrect my dead grandma? You know?
These are the woolly mice.
The woolly mice, David. Here they are.
Oh, that's weird. They're mini golden retrievers.
We did glow-in-the-dark monkeys, right? Did we do this one?
Yeah, we did the glow-in-the-dark monkeys.
Yeah. They splice fucking jellyfish DNA into a monkey.
Hold on, Ryan. As you'll be surprised to find out, there's a risk of death and there's a risk of side effects that are severe. Who would have seen that coming?
Who cares? What if you just keep shit?
Genetics.
You just keep shitting them out, though.
You know what's crazy? When we talked about humans genetically modifying, whether advertently or inadvertently, themselves, we asked this question with autism, Ryan, a while back. I don't know if you remember, but where did it come from?
Definitely wasn't the vaccines, David.
Because everyone says it's genetic. Okay. Oh, it's genetics. Okay. Well, unless Adam and Eve, one of them were autistic, it's not genetic. So where did it come from?
God loves us all, David. He made autism.
Where did it come from? How does it just come out of nowhere and then it's genetics? It can't just appear and be genetics.
It's kind of like the gay thing, right?
It has to be mutations, right? Mutations of this. That it has to be. And what caused that? I don't know, Ryan.
No, maybe one of those gay bombs dropped, David. It's just an autism bomb. We know about the spraying on the food. We covered that they emitted chemtrails, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought it up to a guy I work with today, and he was like, "Oh, you're one of those." I was like, Tennessee Tennessee just passed a law that said it's illegal to put particulate in the fuel of the jet craft or to spray anything in the air. It's illegal. 20 states are doing it. Not conspiracy. Don't tell me, David, that the internet is Twitter is so powerful that 20 state legislatures, the educated people in those 20 states was like, you know what? Chemtrails are definitely real today. You don't think they saw evidence, David?
I'm pretty sure. Sorry, Buff Mike. I'm pretty sure you're chatting, but for whatever reason, I can't see the chats right now. Yeah, interesting.
For the record, I don't think anything directly causes autism, David. I don't think we've glossed over that, but I think the point of your whole statement, David, is that the human genome and the entire genome of the Earth, forever chemicals and everything else, have fucked with so much stuff that we actually can't say anything for certain.
Well, the
You
whole point
actually
of
can't say anything for certain.
the whole point of that is that if you indicate that anything causes autism, they automatically tell you they know what like they don't know what causes it, but they know what doesn't cause it.
Right.
Like, oh, if somebody says vaccines cause autism, no, it's definitely not vaccines. Okay, perfect. What is it? Oh, we don't know. Okay, well, then
genetic. Well, that's yeah. The other bailout's genetics, but we've mapped the human genome, and apparently we can resurrect dire wolves. So,
I think sometimes the science, Ryan, the science. I think a lot of times they
whatever that means, David. Whatever the science actually fucking means.
They look for the easy way out sometimes. Like, they're too proud to admit they don't know the answer, so they'll just pretend they know what they're talking.
Like 7,000-foot pyramids, David.
Sure, yeah, it was just used. They just used cold water. You know, they set it on fire and used cold water, and then they built 7,000-foot tall structures. Like,
yeah,
you don't just say
were there. They just lined it up.
Just fucking say I don't know. I way prefer that. Oh, hey, what's space inside of, right? This is what Ryan's asking his teacher back in the day.
Ask Mr. Colbert.
Just say I don't know.
Yep, 10th grade, laughed right in my face. Laughed right in my face.
It's ever expanding. Okay, now we know about time crystals or quantum crystals or quantum crystals, whatever the fuck it is, where you could have infinite space instead of a finite space. That doesn't make fucking sense.
That's fucking Monsters Inc., dude. That's the door in Monsters Inc. is a quasi-crystal.
The multiverse. That's the craziest thing. That literally it blows my mind. And that's fine. But don't try to explain it. Just say you don't know.
You can't, David. They're millionaires. They got to say something.
Just say you don't know. That's a perfectly acceptable answer. Is it not? Like, when did that not become an okay answer? Isn't it the premise of, like, all science? It's like, I don't know, let's figure it out. And then we theorize and test and test and test and test. And, oh, that theory blew up. Let's try a different theory. Oh, test and test and test and test. And, oh, fuck, that theory doesn't work. Test and test and test and test. Until you know for sure you don't know. That's like the whole thing. Is that not scientific theory in a very vague sense?
I don't know. I don't think you're wrong. I would personally think it's the scientific theory is you test everything that doesn't work until it works, kind of. Because the idea is you're supposed to change as you go along, which is what we're not doing. We're not doing it. We're not changing.
It's almost built. I don't want to. Maybe skepticism is the wrong word, but it's almost built around skepticism. Like, your theory, let's prove it wrong. You're wrong. Perfect. Next theory, let's prove that wrong. It's not built around let's find the answer. It's about taking away all the other possibilities until you have one answer left.
Yeah, it's like it's reductive reasoning instead of like educated guessing. Right? Like, based on the things I know, I can say it's this thing instead of guessing. I don't know. It's like negative liberty, kind of, David. Like, kind of how you can't have 99% freedom, you know? I don't know. Either way, it's we're not the point in saying any of it is we're not even trying to move the goalpost. You know, I've seen a couple things about the RFK and the whole FDA and all the vaccine. I'm telling you, Nuremberg is coming. It's going to be fucking fantastic. Maybe we name it East Palestine, Ohio this time. Or Georgia Guidestones 2.0, David. I don't know. You pick. It's your anniversary, not mine. But you know, they're gonna assassinate me, David. It's coming. Just kidding. Yeah, Nuremberg 2.0. RFK apparently they're cracking down on the FDA here. So it's just going back to the vaccine things. All these people that were anti-big pharma are now suddenly defending the poison food and water and chemical and pharmaceutical industry and
100% saw that coming. I mean,
yeah, well, they want free shit.
Is that what it is?
Rush Limbaugh said it best, Dave. You know this one. It's hard to beat Santa Claus, dude. It's really fucking hard to just be like, the rich will pay for it. Speaking of which, that video about the billionaire thing, I want to actually play that entire video on this show because it's because there's a couple questions after it that once you ask, you're going to realize just what it means, because we're the billionaires at the end of it. But yeah, these people, it's the same thing with the trade wars, David. People are now economists. They're now knowing what's good for the economy, David. They now know, David, how eggs and Cheerios, David, isn't it funny that I've been using Cheerios as a metric in bread and milk on this program for the entire time, basically 5 years now, where it's 1 year streaming on Rumble. But
the thing that's fascinating about all this is, you're right, is they are so quick to flip all of their concerns, right? So like, anti-big pharma, anti-big pharma, anti-big pharma. Well, not when RFK is in charge. We're against the billionaires.
Oh, you mean the ex-Democrat guy? The guy that ran for the Democratic ticket, David?
Yeah, we're against all the billionaires. Okay. Trump's tariffs are absolutely draining billionaires right now. Oh,
no, it's just Wall Street.
Tariffs are bad.
Just Wall Street.
Wall Street's down up to tariffs. Oh, no, that's bad. That's bad. We got to make sure that these billionaires get their wealth back. Why? Oh,
do you think Trump's getting
tied to it? Here's a question.
Yeah.
How many people actually check their 401k?
0% of people.
How many people just heard the news say, "Oh, Wall Street's doing bad. All the stocks are down, and my 401k sucks"? What's your actual 401k at? I'm curious, because I checked mine without getting the actual numbers. I got quite a bit stashed in 401k. Okay, it's down.
Are you up there, David?
I got a little money. It's
couple
down.
Zeros.
Yeah, but it's 401k boring money.
What do you mean, David? What do you mean, David? It's not money? What do you mean? It's not real wealth, David? What do you mean? You don't have thousands just sitting there waiting? It's not real money, David. What do you mean?
Oh, it's waiting until it's drained. But here's the thing. It's down, but it's not down to a level where I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm not going to retire. Like, at what amount is the average person's 401k down, is what I'm curious. $1,000? And do they think it's going to be down $1,000 forever? And even if it was down $1,000 forever, is that game changing for you?
What if I make $1,000 more that year, David? I can just offset the.
Well, that's a great question, Ryan. What if, because of these tariffs, I actually accumulate more wealth, but my 401k is down, but you make more money? Yeah, but my 401k is down. Like, what is the actual argument here?
No one gave a fuck about 401k during Joe Biden, just so you know.
Dude, I watched Joe Biden's presidency happen on my 401k.
Just so you know.
The day he took office, it tanked.
Yeah, no one gave a fuck. No one gave a fuck about your retirement accounts. The union hall didn't tell you to go down there and look at your 401k and your pension count. They didn't care. They didn't give a flying fuck. They didn't care about your 401k, David, or your business, or your grandmother when they told you to stay inside for something they built in a lab and released on the world by quote-unquote accident.
Did you see the picture of it's like the Dow Jones, and it's like up and up and up and up and a tiny dip.
Forever.
Up and up and up and up again, and then a tiny dip, and like that tiny dip at the very top is Trump's dip that everyone's freaking out about.
Yep.
It's like it's so close to still being a record stock market. Like it's so absurd that people are blowing this out of proportion.
Who gives a fuck how the stock market's down when in the history of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it's averaged 7 to 9% on return every year for 100 years. It's the only investment ever invented in the history of humanity that guarantees some kind of money generation without literally doing anything. And here's the other thing, David. I keep seeing $3 trillion wiped out in wealth. I thought it's not real until they sell it.
I suppose. I mean, yeah. It's like
like 3 trillion go down, but and 3 trillion go down, but in 6 months, if 4 trillion goes up, did we lose any money if I didn't sell anything?
Sure.
Because in theory, the thing is, the point of the stock market is literally the perpetual hot potato game. And you don't want to have the hot potato. And the hot potato is when you go to retire, everything's shit. That's holding the hot potato. That's why you got to like diversify into bonds or whatever the fuck else a financial advisor would go tell you to do. Go follow his page on YouTube, not this one. But they would tell you, because I remember my high school teacher saying he got fucked because of the 2008 recession. And when we got in the dealership game, I brought that up to the financial advisor that the dealership used, Dave, and he actually said it was his fault because the teacher didn't diversify his assets as he got older, which would be moving his stocks and 401k stocks into bonds as he got older, because then he's not willing to take the risk because he can't work for another 30 years because he's going to be fucking dead. So you got to diversify. But this whole comes back down to the whole thing, David, that the very education system that is now telling you to worry about the crash in the stock market never taught you about diversifying your fucking income or your assets or anything in the history of your public education that you're also mad about that they're crushing, which is also funny to me. But
usually
let's not fucking talk about that.
Usually the company in charge of your 401k will ask, and they'll say, and they'll give recommendations too, depending on your age. But usually when you're a lot younger, they're going to give you way riskier investments. They're going to tell you to invest more aggressively.
And why is that, David? Nobody ever tells you this at the end of the day. I never understood this until many years after. The reason why the 401k company,
if you
but I mean, like, why does my job offer a fucking investment company to come and sit down with me for free to come and talk to me about investing with a business?
They make money on it.
Oh, that's weird, David. See, they don't tell you that. Isn't it weird that rich people use you to make money off you and they don't tell you about it?
Yeah, they take
take advantage of it. I'll say it real slow. Isn't it weird how rich people use your money to get rich off you without you knowing about it? That sounds like fucking everything going on right now. The same thing happens in your 401k. Don't tell me that the stock market has lost $3 trillion in wealth when technically, David, there's no wealth generated nor lost until somebody buys or sells the product, correct?
Yeah, it's like saying if your house lost value and you said you lost money, you didn't lose money. Your house just lost value. They're two different.
What happened in the stock market is the same thing that happened to Trump Mar-a-Lago when a judge said it was worth $1 million when it's actually worth $1 billion. The stock market can crash 14 billion, trillion, quazillion fucking dollars, but when you actually were to physically assess the United States and our wealth, back to this whole point of the trade wars, David, the point of it is that the stock market is not indicative of the actual wealth in the world anymore. Because the money is so fake, because there is no money actually generated when $3 trillion is lost. The only people that lost $3 trillion, David, was who? The bank. Now, the average American is tied to that bank, right, David? So, yes, you lost money in your 401k. Now,
but you only lost what you put in. If it tanked 100%.
But the
point, if you had 20 grand in and it tanked 100%, you lost 20 grand.
20 grand.
But it didn't. It dropped a few percent.
But you don't lose anything until you sell.
Right,
so you would only lose it. Yeah, right. But no, there's no but. I mean, I know you're right, Dave, but because you don't lose it till you sell. Like if I sell on the down.
In the mind of the average person, they lost it. So let's just use their language, right? Because you're right. 100%. You didn't lose money. You didn't lose any money at all. Your stock lost value. You didn't lose money. But it dropped a few percent. So a few percent, say you had 100 grand in, a few percent is a few grand. You lost a few grand. Banks lost hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars were lost by banks. Yeah. You lost a few grand. They lost trillions of dollars.
Yeah, do they give a fuck? Does the CNBC give a flying fuck about your stocks, or do they care about their portfolio, David? That's a serious question. There was no stock value lost, people. There was no wealth lost. It got reassessed because the shit's not worth that. It's not worth that. You say, Mar-a-Lago's worth $1 million. Okay, hold my beer.
Well, now, what you're talking about?
What's CNN worth? What's fucking Chase Bank worth? What's fucking M&T worth? What's all these businesses worth when there's trade wars going on and you can't bring a fucking pair of Nikes into this country without them costing too much money for you to sell for your clientele to buy? Well, people will have to buy other shoes. That's the fucking point. Because what's Nike worth, David, if they can't sell to Americans? Back to your point last week. Remember the per capita basis? Fucking 3,000. Good luck. Sell your shoes to Indians. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sell them to South Koreans. Go ahead. Carhartt. Dude, I'm done wearing Carhartt. Ariat's very nice shit. Just so you know. If I stopped wearing Carhartt because dads are wearing Carhartt and they've never been dirty in their life. I will buy other stuff. Because once again, David, we come from the mindset we'll just make more money or something, or we'll figure it out. I'll fucking steal the better shit.
Sure,
I don't care.
That's the advantage of not living in the Dave Ramsey economic world.
Fuck,
oh my god, the coffee's too expensive. I can't buy coffee. I don't know. Make more money. Now you can buy coffee and have the money.
Yo, Dave Ramsey, if coffee's $50 a week and I make $100 an hour, was it worth my time?
So what you're kind of referring
to they're not teaching you this shit. Now, I'm not one to brag. I found this shit way too late in my life. If I knew this at 7 instead of 27, I'd probably be a lot farther. But this is what I'm saying about this whole stock market shit. It's a con job. The only people that lost any fucking money is the fucking banks. Do you people know, just so you know, I know this is a minority of people, David, considering most of us voted Trump. We wanted this to happen. Because let's face it, you can talk about all my stocks and all my 401ks. People couldn't buy eggs. But I got to hear about recessions. Now I hear about recessions, David. I sent you the news article. I came across one that said that areas around the Canadian border are hit hardest by the trade war because they're basically hitting both tariffs. They're hitting the Canadian imports and the United States, like just because of the proximity of it. Buffalo is literally the crossing. There's only a couple crossings.
Yeah, that article was very ridiculous, though, because it cited one specific incident of a man who couldn't afford to feed his cows. And I'm not a farmer by any means, but I'm pretty sure cows eat grass.
I'm not real sure like what they actually meant, because the point of what I was like, this whole border policy, this whole wealth exchange, it's like, dude, people, the reason there's a trade war is you need to fucking realize that there has been a war against our trade. Like we have been under trade warfare for 10 plus years at least.
Well,
Trump referenced it before he started this.
Fallacy, though,
the trade imbalance, right?
For you to be angry at the tariffs, it requires one fact. And it requires you to think that there was always free trade. And the fact is, we never had free trade.
How can we have free trade when there was NAFTA and GATT, David, and all of our fucking shit went overseas? I'm fine with manufacturing never coming back. That's fine. I'm fine with all that as long as something of equal value. I'm sick of the only businesses getting built are minimum wage jobs. I've said that on the program. But I'd rather have I don't like banks, but they're building a bank right now. And it's like, well, at least those people don't make minimum wage at a bank. You know what I mean? It's like at least the people working at the bank can buy a house in the fucking neighborhood that the bank's in. But because this thing, look, the robots are coming, people. It's not a joke. I've seen the thing at Tops. There's going to be if you don't know something or know how to do something, you're fucked.
This is the other thing that's fascinating, too.
Yeah, robots are serving people in restaurants. Do you tip a robot?
No.
That's in Buffalo.
They have no livelihood. This is the other thing that's fascinating.
Oh, so I have to have livelihood to be tipped, David. Are you saying the machines aren't worthy of your tip?
Correct. Yes. Absolutely not.
That hurts its feelings, David.
Fine. I'll grease it.
Is that sexual?
Yeah.
Because I'll fuck this robot before we leave this restaurant.
I will fucking grease the shit out of this robot. I'll grease all over its face. Here's the thing. Here's the other thing we're figuring out.
Indeed, dude. Hibachi, indeed.
Democrats, by the way, are still today the party of slavery. Can we point this out?
Oh, I was excited to see where you're going for this.
Ryan. Okay, we all know, everyone here who knows our history, who doesn't pretend that there was some random switch.
When the Nazis didn't win, David?
That the Democrats were the party of the KKK. They're the party of slavery. The thing that's super interesting is they're still the party of slavery. And what I mean by that is, what do we hear about when Trump says, that's it, we're closing the border, we're sending all these people away, which, by the way, the Supreme Court upheld and said absolutely he's allowed to do that. Suck it, federal judge.
How did we not think that wasn't going to happen?
But
serious question.
What do they say, though? What do they say? They say, oh, man, who's going to work all these jobs, these low-paying jobs that no one wants to work? I don't know. Maybe that's not a viable industry then. If your industry cannot support somebody financially at a decent, reasonable rate, I don't
Like
know.
a living wage, David?
Your business model's bad. It's a bad
Like
business model. You can't exist. That's what a free market is.
a
The free
living
market
wage.
says you can't exist now. If your job requires slavery, it is not viable. And that only occurs in a free market, which the Democrats oppose. Also, with the tariffs, we hear the same argument, is that because Nike has to bring their manufacturing here to avoid paying more, by the way, all these companies who have we hear about record profits all the time. Oh no, Apple's going to have to charge $4,000 for a smartphone now because all the Chinese men who were jumping out of fucking windows, now it has to be built here or they have to pay a tariff.
The nets are up, David.
There were nets. I know. But they were still.
They're not suicide nets, David. Of course,
that doesn't happen in the free market, Ryan. We never tried to jump out of the windows where we worked.
What, you just mean but everybody hates their job, David. It's the same thing.
They were suicidal.
No, David. Everybody says they hate their job at McDonald's, David. Clearly the same as a net.
They don't jump in the deep fryer.
They could, David. You never know. There's emotion on stage. McDonald's is really hard.
Nike, Apple, whoever else, you're taking one for the team. There's a tariff in place. Move your manufacturing here. Sell it at the same price or don't sell it at all. Or keep your manufacturing in China. Have the tariff imposed. It's still expensive, and somebody's going to buy Adidas instead. Not like, I'm sure they're built in Chinese factories also, but you get the point.
Dave, this also kind of reminds me of like this whole idea of trade wars. It reminds me of, I always hear from somebody in my family about Eisenhower's nominal tax rate for corporations was at like 95% or something back in the 50s. And it's like
that's fucking absurd.
Yeah, it's absurd, but isn't this what you want?
Can I ask a question?
The idea is to tax the rich and to thieve the rich, but how are they? Because they're saying it's helping Trump and his billionaire friends. How's it helping his friends? Unless you guys know something David, unless there's holes in the tax code that the average person doesn't know about that allows all this thing to help billionaires.
I don't know.
They wouldn't do that though, David. They just tell me to go get a 9-to-5 job, invest my money in the stock market.
What is this? What is this?
Did you watch this?
No.
Did you watch? Oh, look, I'm so happy you segued to this.
You segued to this.
Look, we are the billionaires, okay? The middle class people, the average upper class, especially the upper class middle people that make like 6 figures plus, the millionaires that aren't quite the top 250 plus, whatever the fuck it is. The people that aren't business owners, the people that just go to work, the people that can't write off fucking t-shirts and lunches at Wegmans because you had a meeting with your girlfriend, you fucking pricks. Just because you know all the little loopholes. This video will show you how the middle class person is a billionaire in the grand scheme of things, because David, when there's no billionaires left, who do you go to? The next person in line. Roll the clip, dude.
Understand how billionaires avoid paying taxes. Loans. You keep saying that, but how do you pay the loans back? I don't. What do you do when you run out of money? I get another loan. I don't get it. I think that most people understand at this point that I don't really make a big salary. I own parts of companies. And banks are more than happy to use that as collateral to lend me real money. What do you use for the down payment? Oh, gross. No, I don't do that. You see, poor people what's your net worth? Oh, I don't way less than $1 million. Oh, okay. So will you borrow money that you don't have? I have the money. It's just locked up in equity. I don't do down payments. And as long as the loan is still earning interest, the bank doesn't really need their money back. But if you never actually pay them, isn't it just pretend? Oh, my sweet, sweet child. Fractional reserve banking would kill you. How do banks make money? By lending it out. Why call in my loan just to lend it back out to risky poor people? No offense. So you can just borrow billions until you're dead. As long as my net worth keeps going up. What if it drops and you don't have more collateral to give to the bank? It would probably create a shell company to bail me out. That seems complicated. We can talk about that another time. If I can't get creative, which is extremely rare, hopefully there is a favorable tax code. Otherwise, I might let the bank seize my assets that I used as collateral. Doesn't that look bad? Sure, but you don't pay capital gains tax if you never realize the gain. But that's a last resort. Otherwise, you just avoid taxes until you die. And then the estate handles it? Oh shit, that's actually the best part. When I die, my assets get reevaluated on a step-up cost basis. Why would I possibly know what that means? Right, yeah, you've probably never known anyone that's died with money. Basically, what I paid for the assets gets reset to what they're worth when I died. So, no capital gains tax. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Does the method in which you die change anything? Oh, why would it?
This is
I'm just
a joke.
asking. If there was an accident, but there were no witnesses and someone tried to save you, but they failed, like, would said hero still get a reward? I'm going to leave now. I don't.
Okay, so my point in saying that we're the billionaires, the point in saying that is if they never actually pay taxes, David, where does the tax money come from? The next person in line. And if the billionaires all do it, and then some of the millionaires do it, it goes to the millionaires. But then there's still leftover, right, David? Because we can't take all the millionaires' money, surely. So that's how we, as middle-class people, actually pay probably more in the grand scheme of things, because we don't know these. And to the point, the reason this guy, I don't know his creator, if you want to say his name or whatever, but the reason he's probably making this is he's probably anti-Elon. And that first thing he referenced about using loans to buy things
Studio's
with the bank.
Oh, it's like snowing like crazy outside, and
Yep.
your freaking chickens are sleeping outside on the ground.
Yeah, they'll roost at night.
They need to get their asses into the.
They don't want to go inside. They like roosting outside. They don't. They have.
I found out her communication style. David, I have a fucking gurney for you, dude. I have a gurney, a fucking gurney. I am solving all of the problems of mankind on this podcast, one at a time. I'm assuming this guy's anti-Elon. The beginning of this video, he referenced about like getting loans to buy for equity to buy things and buy it with the loan. Basically, that's what Elon did with X when he bought Twitter. So that's why I don't actually know anything about this content creator short of this. I just love the idea that he broke this down. This was like a 2-minute clip, and he basically showed you how billionaires never pay taxes. So the idea of taxing the rich, David, is dumb, because they literally don't pay tax, David, do they?
Well, the only way tax the rich would work, it's a couple caveats. One, you'd have to fix the tax code completely, which they're not going to do because weirdly, they just don't feel like it, right?
Surely, David, it's not invested interest somewhere along.
No. They're definitely not paid for. And the other thing about that is, even if you were to take all of their money and they actually let you have it, you still aren't paying for anything. You're not paying for the yearly budget, none of this, because you're spending too much. So not only can you not tax the rich because they're not going to give it to you because the tax code that you're saying tax the rich on doesn't allow you to tax the rich.
You're going to change the tax code though, David.
Yeah, but even if you did, you still can't pay for all the stuff you're trying to buy. So it just doesn't. It's like it just completely doesn't work. And they know that. Of course, they know that. They know that. They don't want you to know that.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why when you see that $3 trillion in wealth vanish, did $3 trillion in wealth vanish, David, or did $3 trillion of wealth borrowing value for the banks left? Because what is the value of the stock market backed up on, David? The United States dollar. And what is the United States dollar backed up on? Basically the military, but to extension,
promises.
Yeah, hopes, dreams, and promises of the United States government, which by extension would just basically mean all of us. So, like, we're basically saying that the value, us people and us as a country are saying the value of the thing is not the thing that it is. That's what's happening. I'm telling you, I know this isn't what fucking they're going to tell you, and I don't give a fuck what Mr. Jablonski would say in 12th grade economics class, but that's like literally what's happening. These things are not worth the wealth that they are actually worth. This is inflated currency. We have what? The petrodollar, David, for 50 years now is running amok without gold. So what you get, This is basically the idea of hyperinflation trying to get stemmed before it actually becomes hyperinflation, David, because I'm sure they would just rebrand the term like they did recession during Joe Biden's presidency.
No, they wouldn't do such a thing, Ryan. We totally didn't.
Yeah, what? They would never alter language, David, clearly.
Can we... You won't believe this, but they are trying to gaslight you on that, which is in saying that, well, Trump took office and there's a looming recession and Biden's economy was always good and there was never a recession. There was definitionally a recession under Biden. They just never declared it. It's like wars, Ryan. We always have
conflicts.
They are wars. Okay, let's be honest about it. Like,
no, they're conflicts, David.
If you take all the things that happen in war, they happen, but no one declared it. So we just pretend it's not a war. Like, it's still a war. You just didn't declare it. That's what we're supposed to believe. That's what complete recession under Joe Biden. Oh, we didn't declare it. It's like, it happened. It doesn't matter. I don't need you to declare it. The economy sucks.
Yeah, ooh, piece of candy, right?
That's enough economy, right? That's enough economy because
I love the trade war. I'm a big fan of trade war, for the record.
Oh, I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
I want to hear all about your 401k sob story because you didn't give a fuck about stocks 6 years ago. Fuck out of here. You guys are insane. Insane.
Ryan, more lawfare? Are you aware of this?
Russell Brand. Clearly, yes. David. Go good after all the Christians,
good
Dave.
Call.
Gotta get the nice picture. Don't put a modern picture on my boy up there when he's at his fucking baptism. Get him when he's all strung out. Look at the cocaine in that dude's eyeballs, David. Look at that. He's strung out. 2 counts of gold.
Brian, why now? Because this is, believe it or not, this is years ago is when these were accused. Years and years ago. Every time...
And the only thing that saved Joe Rogan from this shit is that he likes to fucking beat up other guys in gyms where he'd be out getting fucking sexual assault cases too.
For the record, I'm going to put a caveat to a caveat, Ryan. I 100% do not believe this.
Caveat. Dave said it like 4 times.
Caveat to a caveat.
You 100% believe.
I 100% don't believe this happened. With that said, if it happened, it's disgusting and it shouldn't happen, but I don't think it happened, and I think it's a no-brainer why it's being discussed now is because Russell Brand's gone through not only a religious baptism, but like a cultural baptism, a political baptism. He has completely reset himself, and only then is he accused of rape.
Some would say reborn, David.
Only once the Tates are world famous for telling young men to be powerful and fight the establishment, only then are they accused of sex trafficking.
For the record, Resurrection Day is upon us, David. 420 is the day of Christ rising. Christ is King. Fuck you, Ben Shapiro. Can't wait to talk about him today. Russell Brand, dude. They only Dave, you notice they persecute Christians, dude. I can't talk shit about the Jews. But when I talk about the only Jew that matters, I'm told I'm a piece of shit.
Well, that's because it's offensive when you say Christ is King, right?
Christ is King, really. Christ is King.
He's a Jew. Why is that offensive?
Well, it's offensive to all the other non-believers, David. They don't believe.
But Ben Shapiro is a believer. He's a believer of Judaism, and Jews believe in Jesus, and Jesus was a Jew. So why is Christ as King offensive? Can someone explain that to me?
They don't believe he was the Son of God, David. They're still waiting for the difference between Jews and Christians is Jews don't actually believe that like the Son of God has come here to die and get crucified for his sins yet. That's why they only believe in the Old Testament.
I don't like it.
I'm just, it's history, David. I didn't write the book. I didn't write the book. King James did, David. Blame him.
He sucks.
He didn't write the book. Just so he didn't write the book. He was just a king. So there's a different reason why it's important. No one cares, though, David.
Terrence Howard said, did he try to fuck him? I'm not going to play the clip. It's long. But...
Was that on PPD?
It was, yeah.
Oh, man. If I was dating, I tried fucking him, too. He's a handsome man, dude. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of Terrence Howard. You're a good dude. I was a big promoter of your Joe Rogan podcast.
Did you see there's some, I'm kind of rapid firing these because we talk so much about the economy, but did you see there's some debate about whether or not we bombed Houthis or some random tribal meeting? You aware of this? Trump posted on his X. Okay, hold on. I
fucking love that the president of the United States just shitposts on the internet about fucking everything up. I don't care. Look, it works. That's how you find out about all the shit in your whole family, but you're mad that your president does it. What's wrong with you? You hypocritical pieces of shit. This is what it's made for. This is what X is for. To show me nuclear-sized explosions on our enemies. This is what this is for. For knockout videos, slightly racist, inappropriate jokes, and fucking explosions. Because everything else I can get in real life, David. Everything else I can get in real life. The internet is for the fake shit. And to learn about the president fucking shit up. It's just the way it works.
It's an interesting post by a president. He said, these Houthis gathered for instructions on attack. They'll never sink our ships again. And he posts a black and white video of us bombing the shit out of these people.
El Baghdadi died like a dog.
Died like a dog.
No, so it's he shit on that guy for like an hour. It's 3 in the morning. He died in the middle of the night starving. Temple.
There is some there's some debate though about whether or not there were Houthis. So that's unfortunate.
Didn't they bomb a ship or something outside of Yemen?
The
or Yemen ties. There was something with a ship I see today got attacked.
Yeah, yes. The Jews attacked our ship one time, the Israelis.
Don't you dare.
You're not supposed to talk
Don't you dare, Tim Pool me. Yeah, I'm all about free speech, except the Jews. They'll probably kill me, dude. You're not that important, Ryan.
That's the easiest one to get away with.
Yeah, kill the not important people.
It's way less suspicious if you die.
Fuck. Oh, yeah, now, yeah. Yeah, see, I told you. This podcast, Dave's got millions. This podcast, he's just sending me like old screenshots of all of our data. He's just switching the dates. We have millions. Millions. And Dave's going to get me whacked by the Jews. See, I have a bad internet connection now, David.
I'm sure you remember.
Tell me.
Sam Harris, you don't have free will, Ryan.
Oh, fuck it. Who called him a fucking clown?
Dave Smith.
Good. I'm glad these people are catching up to us, David.
He's the best. Yeah, he was on Rogan recently. Go watch it because he's always awesome. I'm going to use my free will to play this clip real quick because I hate Sam Harris. He is.
You better not touch that button, David. You better not touch that button.
Ryan, I have free will. I will touch the button.
Dude, you don't, David. I am telling you.
People.
This pen is rubber red.
Honestly, in over his head on so many topics of great consequence.
I think he's referring
to
when
he brings someone on to just shoot the shit about, how the Holocaust is not what you think it was, right? Maybe Churchill's the bad guy in World War II.
That was Dave,
was that Tucker?
Or he's got Dave Smith, being treated as an expert on Israel
Can't trust you.
And
Palestine.
Trust
I don't have free will.
You got to listen to Sam Harris.
The history of that conflict.
Telling me I don't have free will.
The moral emergency that came to the world's attention on October 7th, and what is appropriate to think in the aftermath of all of that, right? Dave Smith is the only reason why anyone knows what Dave Smith thinks about any of this is very likely because Joe had him on multiple times to talk about it, right? He's a pure misinformation artist, and
Artist
on
of
top of many
misinformation,
others. And when Joe talks to someone like Trump or Tucker Carlson or any of these other guys who
I've almost
lie
had
as
enough.
freely as they breathe and doesn't
Lie.
push back against any of their lies. In fact, in Trump's case, really fairly energetically helped put his lies into the most plausible possible shape.
All right, I'm done listening to this guy.
I fucking hate that guy.
Who is
Yeah,
actively listening to Sam Harris? I want to hear from his fans. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, the problem is it's like educated people stuck in a fucking echo chamber. You guys just think your ideas are better. You literally this is like the Platonists, David. Now, I'm not an ancient scholar by any means, David.
Oh, well, you're just pushing misinformation, and Sam Harris told me I have to push back on you.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Those people just believe that all the smartest people of philosophy should just fuck all the girls, and they should not know who's the father of the children. That way they don't pick favorites. And then because the most smart had all the kids should be intelligent. That's what Plato and all these people that we come from thought of, okay? These people have always been elites. They've always thought that they're better than us. Do you know why they would tell you don't have free will, David? So you don't fight back. How hard is it?
How is it possible?
Ignorance is strength. Freedom is slavery. War is peace. It's in a fucking book. It's in a book. If you only read that in that book, that's it. That's all you need. I don't know.
How what am I supposed to think when the guy who runs around and says there is no free will is talking about how Joe Rogan freely has these people on and listens to their opinion?
Dude, he literally says, this is what fucking blows my mind. I'm not a doctor here. Andrew Huberman's going to help me out here, though. Neuroplasticity would say otherwise about free will. Huberman had a whole fucking episode about free will and the fucking hippocampus, amygdala, fucking cortex center, fucking whatever. And that's the thing that actually grows, and they basically call it the will to live. It's like the gland that excretes the chemical. I don't know if it is actually dopamine, but it's they're basically saying that the bigger this thing is, the longer you live. Because it's literally your internal body saying, no. That's it. That's literally free will. Like in a gland. And neuroplasticity, David, you can keep teaching yourself new things. So how the fuck is free will not possible if I can learn new stuff? Because if I didn't have free will, David, I would stop learning, wouldn't I? Or am I supposed to believe that learning is part of not having free will? Huh? How can I learn if I don't have free will? Learning is just taught, it's naturally in humans. Well, then where did we get it from? And then I'm just told the infinite God of evolution. Fuck these people.
I just read on the OLX as I was going there.
About what?
Europe is ready to sit down and do 0 for 0 free trade, actual free trade, which is weird. I wonder what changed their mind.
What does that even mean?
Meaning no tariff. We don't tariff your stuff. You don't tariff our stuff, which is weird. I don't understand why.
Dave, but the $3 trillion in wealth, what are they going to do, Dave? What are they going to do? We lost all the wealth. How can we do 0-0?
It's also weird that
Dave,
Israel.
The wealth. Tell me about the wealth, though.
Israel had tariffs on our products, and we put tariffs on theirs, and now all of a sudden they're going to remove their tariffs, which is interesting.
We showed you on the program last week that the United States has so much fucking money that all the countries of the world could band together and we would smash them under our feet.
Cookie jar.
The cookie jar. We own 1/4 of all of the cookies in the world. And you know what? If you're thinking that the other 3 out of 4 cookies are going to get together, you're telling me that North Korea, China, Africa, Russia, India, and Europe are all going to get along, and South America are all going to get along, and Canada all going to get along to wage strategic economic war against the United States. We can't even fight over the Middle East or Russia, David, but we're going to join forces to fight the United States in a trade war. They can't even take fucking Ukraine.
You know what I would do? I mean this.
That's crazy.
I mean this. I really do. In all seriousness, fuck China. But in all seriousness, fuck China. But
Been saying that for 20 years.
President Dave Corn. Okay, day one in office. I'm calling Xi Jinping up, my chigga. Hey,
my chigga. I don't know if you can say that. Dude.
Yeah, it's cool. We cool now, China. Trust me. I call him up and I say, "Here's the deal. We're 28% of the world's economy, or whatever it is, and you're like 20% of the world's economy, whatever the fuck it is. It's something like that. Us combined make a simple majority. Okay, we do this deal. Okay, we're together. We're in this together now. We will crush the rest of the world. We will smash them. They don't exist anymore. China, America, best friends, best buddies. The rest of the world doesn't exist. We smash them. And then when we divide all the assets between us, now we can go toe to toe after. But before we get there,
Dave, you want to fucking you want to split the world with China and then fight China for the rest of the world?
Yeah. I think we could do it. We beat
them. Insane.
We could do it.
Those people stick bamboo up your ass, dude. I'm not getting ass fucked by bamboo.
We can do it.
We'll just bring back the direwolves. Oh my god! Could you imagine the Trump dire rioters?
Pandas are so stupid.
And retarded animals. Dave knows about the retarded bears, dude.
All
Pandas are retarded bears.
Is eat wood and fucking they'll live, and they're going extinct.
Well, deforestation, David. Clearly.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Even they live in a remote area of mountains that no one goes to.
They can't go extinct anymore.
We make direwolves. Pandas will live forever, David. We will have panda direwolves. Panda.
Team Panda versus Team Direwolf.
Yes. Yeah, fuck these people. I'll take my house any day. See, life is Game of Thrones, dude. Life is a fucking movie. We are in a simulation.
Always has been.
All right, next simulation screen, David. The Cybertainment this week. Not actually. Here, misogynistic this week.
Oh, even better.
For the record, my notes are on a paper towel.
Perfect. Love that.
Sports and ADHD, David. Don't let me forget that one. It's a good one today. Oh, dude, how does Eve ask questions?
How does she ask questions?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, see, here we go. A little therapy hour for Dave and Ryan. A little sound effect would be cool. So here's the deal. Do you remember when discs used to skip and you'd be waiting for your game and it'd be like the PlayStation, be like, and then it'd stop and you'd be like, fuck. And then it's 2:30 in the morning, trying to sleep. I got half a glass of chocolate milk. You just kicked all over the floor because I got to get up and fucking spin the disc myself because the motor broke.
And yet we still turn to machines to run everything.
Yeah, I could barely operate a PlayStation with the flip button.
Fools.
Fucking idiots. All right, David. I noticed what she did earlier. I'd have to rewind the episode with my eyeballs, but
she wants him to do something for.
So when Eve asks you for something,
okay,
do you notice her communication style as far as like
I barely listen.
45 seconds. All right. I noticed it earlier. You know why she came? Do you remember how she worded it when she came in? Oh, you should just call her in here. This would be great. You know how she worded it when she brought up the chickens earlier? Do you remember how she worded it?
Yeah, they were my chickens.
That they needed to come inside. But she didn't ask you, right? She wasn't like, hey, Dave, can you bring in the chickens because I don't feel like it?
No,
right?
She wasn't asking me to bring in the chickens. She was saying they're idiots because they stay outside all night.
All right. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, this... I'm trying to...
Instead of going into their actual pen area where it'd be shielded from the cold, they sit outside and roost. They're morons.
You think they're just cold chickens?
No, they're just idiots.
You know they're dinosaurs, right? They can't be that advanced.
They're the closest living relative to T-Rexes.
Yeah, they make great... Imagine a T-Rex sized egg, dude.
I'm pretty sure that's real. That's a real
What if
thing.
dinosaurs... What?
I don't want Sam Harris to think I'm spewing misinformation.
I fucking hate that guy. I can't wait to meet these people.
Closest
at Nuremberg 2.0.
living relative to T-Rex. I'm pretty sure it's a chicken. The closest living relatives to Tyrannosaurus rex are birds, including chickens, ostriches, and penguins. Yeah.
So every time I eat eggs, I should listen to the Jurassic Park theme song. Eggs and bacon, and all right. So, David, I discovered that all women,
life finds a way.
Everyone I've talked to, all 17.5 billion people. Because remember, Dave, you sent me that article that we miscounted people.
Apparently. Yeah, we were off by a lot.
A lot of people. Yeah, hey, you all got to die because there's too many of us, but we missed.
Yeah, trust the science. Trust Sam Harris. All
Can't even trust fucking math. 1 + 1 doesn't even equal 1. It equals 3. So I realized something, David. I was hanging out at the house. You know, I'm getting breakfast cooked for me like a good man. You know, fellas, if your lady ain't cooking you breakfast, you should probably look in the mirror. So I'm getting my breakfast cooked for me, and then I get asked a question, but it wasn't a question. It was like a suggestion. And it was like, hey, do you mind starting the shower, like getting the water ready for the shower? I was like, yeah, I'll go do that, sure. So I turn the water on for the shower. A couple seconds. It might be like, I'll think seconds because, quite frankly, David, I probably live, like 3 seconds ahead of like everybody else. But so it probably was like a minute later, I got asked another question. That was not a question. And it was, do you mind grabbing the drink off the table? Now, these questions, David, were in proximity close enough that I remembered the first question verbatim. Like, I remember the exact structuring of the question, which was not a question. Okay? And the second question that was not a question was phrased the exact same way as the first question that was not a question. So I'm like, wait a minute. Do I mind? And then I thought to myself, as a matter of fucking fact, I do mind. I do mind getting the fucking drink. Hold on. I do mind. Because you know what? I wanted to go look at my goddamn Magic cards for 5 fucking seconds because I work all fucking week. And, if I want to just sit here for 30 seconds and look at a card I've literally never played with, I just bought to look at, which fuck you, And I'm getting, even resentful post episode. I'm still resentful about it because I'm like, this motherfucker's asking me to do shit. I got shit I want to do. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I went up to her. I was like, do you realize that, like, you didn't, like, ask me what you wanted? She looked at me weird. I was like, yeah. You asked me, do I mind to do something for you? David, when you ask for something, how do you ask? Say, would I be able to, I would like this. Like, take your shirt off.
I don't ask, I command.
Yeah, take your shirt off.
She politely commanded you to run her water.
Yeah, no, she didn't command. It was a fucking...
I convinced you.
Yeah, convinced. It's called female manipulation. Okay? And they're so good at it. Women are so good at manipulation, they manipulate themselves into believing they don't manipulate.
For the record, Dave, I've never my entire life realized that I did that.
Right. Which is why it's manipulation, because she learned it from somebody that taught her that.
Subconscious manipulation.
Yeah, well, she didn't know because this is just the language that she was taught growing up on how to ask for your needs. Yeah. So the thing is I looked her dead in the face. It was like, look, just fucking ask me. Because I'm just going to tell you, yeah, I do mind. I do mind getting you the cup of coffee. I do mind folding the laundry. Not that I won't do it. I'll go fold the laundry, but I do mind. I actually do mind a lot. I actually do mind a lot that I have to go walk across the house and I'll be obnoxious. And, now I told one of my other friends about this. She's like, you can't be like that. It's like, no, I'm not like that. But for that second, I had to be like, look, this is how it is. And she didn't see anything wrong with it until I told her this way. I was like, Dave, could you imagine helping me build something? Okay. And you're my helper and I'm on a ladder. Right now, and I'd be like, do you mind handing me that screwdriver? You hand me the screwdriver. Do you mind handing me that screw? Do you mind handing me that? Do you mind handing me that bolt? Do you mind handing me? Do you mind handing me this? 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 It'd be fucking annoying. It's fucking annoying. But I got asked that way 50 times in a day. Sometimes it's like, man, you're like awfully controlling. Like, I'm not controlling at all. Be like, I feel like I've been getting bossed around all day.
Here's a question I have. As far as I don't know if you've noticed this, and this could not be a male versus female thing or not. Have you noticed that when men communicate with each other, they're very specific?
Yeah.
Like if I ask, for example, here's what Eve will say, okay? Can you get that thing from the drawer?
See, she does it too. Suggests, doesn't ask.
No, she said, "Can you get?" That's fine. But
No,
it's like, yeah, can you get? That's a question, right? But like, can you get that thing from the drawer? Okay, I need to know what I need to know what thing, and I need to know what drawer. So, but here's like what the exact same thing I would say to like Ryan. Hey Ryan, I need you to get the number 2 Phillips with the blue handle from the second drawer in the toolbox in the garage. Very fucking specific.
It's on the left, right next to the fucking lubricant that has a broken twist top bottle that I taped around it 7 times so that it didn't leak all over the wrenches in the drawer next to the picture of my mom. And you go there and there's literally a picture of his mom, the lubricant with the tape, the fucking wrenches there that are covered with grease, even though he said he did it to not cover it with grease. He just didn't want to admit that. He's embarrassed about his thing not working. That's how look. And then I told this to her that like, I kind of blame men. This is from us enslaving each other for years and years and years and years before we gave each other freedom, of course, David, because men freed men before we freed women, naturally.
Without free will. That's impressive.
Yeah, super. We discovered free will willingly, huh? Whoa! Where'd the word freedom come from, asshole? I just discovered it. Discovered?
He's such a cock. He believes he's the smartest man in the room, and he just says shit that makes no fucking sense.
He's the smartest man in the room when he's alone with the light off. Okay, like that fucking guy. You know what's funny is I would love to like go and talk to these people and just get completely wrecked about like them just demolish me at like an academic level and still be able to be like, yeah, dude, but you're just a fucking retard, you know, and you have nothing. And there's just nothing you can say. Be like, that's cool, dude. That's cool that the chemical that triggers the thing, but you're still fucking retarded, and no one believes you. No one believes you. The South American Nazis is still funny.
It's all parts per million. It's all parts per million.
Oh, yeah, it's not parts per billion. Well, what about the billions? We don't measure it. Why? It's too hard to catch.
Yeah, it's only parts per million, but I drank it a million times. No, it's fine. Okay. Well, the math isn't mathing now.
I got to worry about forever chemicals and Antarctica's ice glaciers and climate change, but I can adjust parts per million of the same molecule. It's fucking fine. Ryan, what do you know? I don't know. I was EPA certified, Dave, for hazardous fucking chemicals.
How come all these people have cancer? I don't know. Can't figure it out. The nanoplastics are only parts per million, though, so don't worry about it. Literally, but I drank it a million times, and now I have cancer. No, that's genetic cancer. Okay.
Genetic cancer. Well, how to get in the genome, David? I don't know. Maybe it was the chemical altering of our fucking genes. Sorry. I should be fucking screaming. There's 7,000 fucking pyramids.
That's kind of the definition of cancer.
It's literally that they made cancer and then they're like, everybody's got cancer. Of course, everybody got cancer. You fucking give them cancer, you cocksuckers. And then everybody's like, yeah, they give you cancer. Did I tell you about the Coca-Cola and the rusty tool yet? Did I tell you about that?
What, using Coke to clean rust?
Yeah, it works. I put literally a tool. I left in a snowbank for over 2 months in the fucking country. The thing was, I'll never drink Coke again.
Oh, I love it. That's my favorite part about Coke is that it cleans all the rust out.
All those parts per million.
All those parts per million of rust.
It's only parts per million rust. It's fine. These people are so smart, they're stupid. It's crazy.
Ben Shapiro is the smartest dumb person I've ever fucking heard open his mouth. Yo, his JFK take is terrible. Yeah, so what? They killed Kennedy. I knew the whole time. Like, no, you didn't. Nobody did.
Yeah, it was
because you were still telling me I was fucking crazy.
It was
Who would have
Oswald,
thought?
you know?
Oh, just him.
It was just the narrative.
Just him and that magic bullet, Dave.
Yeah, it was just a really good shot.
No, the bullet was magic.
Yeah, well, he was still a good shot. He was a good shot, and it was magic.
You mean he got 7 shots off in 3 seconds, David?
Yeah, he was really good. He was a army marksman or some shit.
I mean, the guy that's super malnutrition, could barely see, had no eye glasses.
At least we caught it on this handy Zapruder film.
Dude, they have 7,000-foot pyramids. We're still wondering how they got the blocks to sit together. You're looking at the wrong shit, dude. Where was female manipulation? David, I actually kind of blame this on men. Look, fellas, we got to do better. I'm not just saying this because, the ladies here. What I realized was that the reason men need such direct communication was because we probably literally beat the shit out of each other. Our slave masters beat the shit out of each other until we literally did exactly as we were told, which is why it's so grounded in respect. Because what is the idea of respect generally, David?
The idea of respect?
Yeah, what's it backed up on if you really break it down? Like, and who is the most violent person?
The
most capable person, right? Is the most violent.
Yeah.
So that would be the strongest, the biggest, the
biggest, strongest, fastest, the best.
Right. So
freak, the hardest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the only idea that I've ever really, now that I think about it, the only time I've ever really complained about being disrespected is by people that I'm like basically stronger than.
Well, the thing that's interesting too is now you have so what you're describing is a very like biological thing, right?
This was taught. Men taught each other to just fucking worry about respect and not love. And men we're born from the act of love, which is why I think in general, like I'm starting to believe that like this, not that the idea of masculinity is toxic because it's not, but the main premise that men get caught up on respect. The only reason you care about respect is because your feelings are hurt. And the only reason that we care about respect is because we've all just fucking smashed it down generationally after generation after because all of our grandparents up until this generation murdered each other, David. Most of us. Most of our grandparents all killed all of our grandparents.
Well, the other thing that's interesting too is we've tried to create respect societally when it was never a societal thing. It was always biological.
Right. Yeah. Meaning like that the most capable man was going to get the most respect because he would just kill me and take my wife anyways.
Sure. But what it's turned into is, what it's turned into is respect to this guy because he's your boss.
Yes. Or you'll respect me because I pay the bills.
Respect Sam Harris. He's very intelligent. No, I don't respect him.
Yes, he has a degree.
If fist fight him, his face would be backwards.
Yeah, he has no respect in the real world.
He doesn't have real respect.
He has metaphorical respect.
Societal respect.
Symbolical
respect.
Oh my God, dude! Did we invent a whole class of respect, hierarchy of respect?
There's new respect. It's very different from old respect. There's the New Testament of respect.
To go to your
Old Testament of respect.
To go to your point, David, I realized that I call anybody my age group or like anything brother.
Kid. Oh, you say brother.
Brother, thanks, brother. I haven't done kid yet. I do it to my kid, but anybody kind of older, like even my dad's age, I call sir. And that to me, I think in our lifetime, that's because kind of sir was everything. Maybe the younger generation or the other generations was like buddy, right? Or pal or chum or whatever the fuck. That's been the guy term over the years. I think we're at brother, society-wise, is brother. Thanks, brother.
Hanging out with Hulk Hogan?
Look, brother, I'm in a union with brother and sister.
Listen here, brother.
Hey, I have brothers and sisters in the union all over America, okay? It's beautiful. We got our flowers today, David, for our 1-year live stream anniversary.
Oh, that's a pretty good flower.
Yeah, get you a girl that can do both, dude. Made out of paper towel.
Oh, what the fuck? I thought that was a flower.
It is made out of paper towel.
No, I thought that was legit. No, I thought that was actually a flower.
Thrifty and crafty, dude.
That's pretty well.
Yeah, dude. So I've really been stressing this point because honestly, a couple things. One, she does need to learn how to just say, dude, just can you hand me the fucking soda pop on the table? and she's doing great because honestly, she's never had it pointed out to her in such a way that was like a healthy form of communication to her that like, hey man, I'd noticed that like you kind of word it this way, because what it really turned around to was me recognizing that me personally, was getting kind of triggered about being, do you mind? Well, I fucking do mind. Like, yeah, I do mind because I care about words, right, David? Because we're men, right? And because what do we have against men up until my fist, right? It's the things I tell you, right? And based on what I say to you is going to alleviate how I use my hand. I'm either going to shake your hand or I'm going to use, you know what I mean? Like that's it for men, is we either are friends or we're enemies. Like that's the whole point of shaking hands. Shaking hands is a masculine thing. Girls hug. You know, like think about that, guys. Like, but it's all boiled back down to like men have basically through brute force trained each other to just care about this one thing, and it's not translatable. It's actually really not translatable. Respect is actually like now hold on. It is. It gets shit done. I understand. I just mean like at a real personal level. If you want to go build a world, yes, you need respect. You need order. I get it. But in your relationships, like where's respect? We should all be respected, right? Because like whose respect matters more? If I'm disrespecting my wife, is that because I'm disrespected? Is that okay? Two wrongs don't make a right. So what the fuck do you do with that? And it's my family system. I can't keep disrespecting my family system because it's going to breed disrespect. And then what am I going to be mad about? Is disrespect. And then I'm going to be disrespectful about being disrespected. But this is what I mean. It's like it's going to breed the very thing. And it all comes back to the thing is that I'm realizing the thing that disrespect is actually hinged on is the fact that you're not being seen, heard, and appreciated. And because you're not being seen, heard, and appreciated, you get triggered like you're talking to another man because he's not listening to you when you say, put on your shoes, we're going to be late for school. And then they don't listen. And then you yell at your kids or you take away their Game Boy or you fucking punch them depending on what year you grew up. You know? Like that's what happened. Your grandfather, put on your shoes. No, put on your shoes. Bam, the belt. And then that kid has fucking PTSD. It gives it to the next. You know what I mean? This is how generational curses happen. Is because literally, like, trauma changes back to DNA. Trauma changes your DNA. Your trauma, like, your fucking brain is traumatized. It alters your flickering of your genes, the way your genes are expressed. Basically, you could be taller and fitter and healthier if you were less traumatized sometimes.
No, it's just genetic.
How to get in the genes, Dave?
No, it's just genetic.
Is it nurture or nature, David?
Genetic.
But how to get there? There was no will. There was no will exerted on the genetics, David.
No,
it just was freely genetic.
It was free will genetics.
The genetics don't have free will either.
Well, it was free will genetics. They just
how the genetics
as they feel
get there before there
was
genetics.
I'd like to point out, Ron, I've never hit a woman, but I say that to say this. Eve wasn't as aware as the biological nature of men-to-men conversations, right? I have said this to Eve in the past. She's not aware of this, but I told her this. I said, if you were a man, I would hit you right now.
I've said to Sam.
Men know they can't speak to each other in a certain tone because they know it's going to result in violence, which is fine. I'll fight people. That's fine.
To death, though? To death. To ask her that one next time she pisses you off. Would you fight to the death over what the fuck you just said to me? Because, yo, dude, go fuck yourself. You literally will die over. Some guys will kill you over that. Yo, dude, don't even look at me. They're robbing people out in Rochester, knocking them out and robbing them. They don't even say shit to you. Yeah, what did she say? Was she culture shocked or she still doesn't get it?
No, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one you ask her is like, would you tell that to your boss? Be like, no, then why would you tell it to your husband? Well, maybe you change the way you say things. Acting like you can't get fired.
Yeah, that's what a breakup is.
Oh, you want to divorce me? No, I just want to be respected. But there it goes back to it. We were beat into learning this thing. The reason I feel disrespected is I'm not heard, seen, and appreciated. My wife isn't seeing, hearing, and appreciate the things I'm saying to you. And you're not listening to me. And the only reason I care is because I love you and I want the best for you. That's what it is, dude. I figured it out. I'm really shitty at it still. I just figured it out yesterday. But I'm here to save everybody hardship. Because, David, this is the greatest podcast in all of human history, and I will get to the bottom of all 87,000 feet of all the pyramids underneath the sand. We'll start a GoFundMe page. I'll count all the sand and prove Sam Harris wrong on free will. Maybe he'll help me.
Hey, we were creeping through the house, by the way, before we go. We found blueprints for the house.
Oh, shit, dude. That's cool as fuck, dude. Wow, those are legit blueprints, dude. They don't make, like, blueprints. I don't know if you know this. Prints aren't blue anymore.
I got 2 copies, too.
They're white and black.
They're actual blueprints. And I found from the land survey, too, which is interesting.
That has got to be cool.
That's pretty cool. Just kind of cool shit you found in an old house.
Yeah, just tear down all the old stuff, make it look like a McDonald's, David. Definitely fuck that old architecture.
Well, this doesn't have any impressive old architecture, so I won't feel bad.
Oh, did you check 7,000 feet underneath your feet, David?
That's a good point. I did not dig. There's probably 7,000 foot tall towers underneath me.
You got fucking natural oil. Dude, underneath.
What if every structure on Earth has 2,000 foot towers under it?
How do we know? We were fighting over how they fucking cut the blocks, David.
I never radared my ground. I don't know.
Just radar everything.
And it all connects to an underground structure. And it's just like
the South Park episode with the fucking mole people, dude.
It's like the ultra intelligence original race and like Hitler. It'd be crazy.
Yo, Hitler, the gay Hitler, listening to John Lennon, dude. I was eating that shit up for like a couple days, dude. A couple of days I was laughing. I had family members laughing about that. Like fucking super tight, fucking scarf, fedora. Yo, what did I say? Hitler invented the beanie because a yarmulke was too small. So he just made a beanie out of he just made a bigger yarmulke, dude.
And he still wears it to this day.
His yarmulke had a yarmulke, you know, like it's just fucking. Oh God, it's too much. It's too much for one man to laugh at. Yeah, so mostly, men are natural haters. To fucking figure out how your girl asks low key questions, confront her about it, be kind about it. You'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. She'll figure it out. I got rapid fire here. Trade war was great. Billionaires don't pay taxes. Wi-Fi radar, David. I told somebody the other day about how they can turn your Wi-Fi beams into like a sonar system, very equivalent to like a dolphin.
Well, it's all microwaves, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only parts per million, and then a couple days later, it's only a couple Wi-Fi beams per inch. A couple days later, I seen AI used as Wi-Fi tracking turns into radar beams. So, yeah, the Musk protests were pretty funny. Keep blowing Cybertrucks up for the environment.
Only last 15,000 miles.
Oh yeah, I heard Cybertrucks are falling apart after 15,000 miles. Have you heard this?
Good thing they have probably a 336 basic, right? I would imagine.
Denying warranty, apparently.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect.
Why no maintenance? Not enough oil changes? What the fuck are you denying maintenance on? It's an electric motor. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Why are you denying the maintenance? Well, there's no maintenance. It's an electric motor.
That's what I'm saying. Like what? Like a regular manufacturer can deny it for like lack of maintenance or whatever. Fine, I get it. You know your engine blows up at 30,000 miles because you didn't change your oil. I get it. Your fault. What's there to deny on an electric motor? They didn't charge it right?
I don't know, dude.
Like using the wrong level charger? Is that a thing? Too much fast charging?
Look, nothing for nothing. Tried to hook up some panels at work today. Solar panels. The incoming power from the street. Okay, so from the pole to the house had too much power. Okay. Too much power for the inverters to catch up to.
Well, is there like you can like
well,
step
if
it
the
down?
whole grid, yeah. Well, actually, what actually is going to actually have to happen, the incoming voltage is too high. They need to go into a transformer, and they're going to move the leg around, or they'd have to replace a I don't know what they would actually have to do. I've never done like that line work on that edge of it. I just kind of know the theory of it. But yeah, they would have to step the actual voltage down to your incoming power to your house is like 227, 230. It's technically a 240 line. 227 sometimes.
Wait, so what are the chargers? Because I thought they were higher.
They are. They're 220-volt chargers.
Oh, okay.
Which is just basically.
Wait, so what's the problem? Why can't you just have a 220 line wired up like anything else?
You can't. A 220 line is just two 120 lines.
120s, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what the problem is though.
Well, at this guy's house, we were doing solar panels, not a charger. The thing that was actually happening was the Tesla charger, the Tesla inverters weren't firing up because they were reading an imbalance in the voltage that was incoming from the road. So unless the load was balanced, load means outgoing power from the source. Unless the load was balanced, the inverters wouldn't kick on and generate power for the solar panels to send them back up to the meter. So how do we get here? Oh, Tesla shit. Yeah, it's just shit breaks. Shit fucking breaks. It's not figured out. These are flawed systems still. We're literally building new cars and new technologies. Solar panels are new. Photovoltaic cells have been around for 100 years. Okay, but they haven't battery technology wasn't there to make them useful, right? Like to store the power you made.
Mm-hmm.
So, because energy is neither created nor destroyed, Dave. I'm supposed to trust scientists.
It's also free in the atmosphere.
Allegedly. Energy,
like
electricity
a hand just comes up from
Oh man. New York State had a travel ban for the measles outbreak that's going on. I think people are not trusting the vaccination programs, David.
Well, that's weird because I thought everyone was vaccinated for measles. We killed it, didn't we? Wasn't that the thing? Didn't everybody say measles died because the vaccinations worked?
What if it's a new microbiology resistant fucking COVID splice? And what if it's riding the COVID molecule, David, and it's got a little bit of flu in its system? It's just this souped up version.
Do these people understand they blow up their own arguments?
No, they're banking on not the same person listening to all the arguments, David.
Like they're the ones who said you need to get vaccinated because vaccinations are so good. We've literally eradicated measles and blah 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 and all these other diseases.
Polio's almost wiped off the map.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, but now measles is back. Well, why? Well, because somebody didn't get vaccinated. Okay, but why is it spreading?
Well,
because 99% of people in the United States are vaccinated for measles. So what's it spreading upon? Is the vaccination not working? Is it happening? Is there a small group?
What if it's a bioweapon measles virus, David, that was made in a lab to go around
they don't make viruses in labs, Ryan. That's ridiculous.
They don't make viruses. They make fucking wolves in labs, David! Don't yell, Ryan. They're printing wolves. I know. I'm saying the fucking Google bots that are going to arrest me one day. You get angry on the internet. I can't wait for the AI robot to fucking jail me for everything I've ever said. Nuremberg 2.0, hang you pieces of shit. They make wolves in labs, okay? They can fucking target your DNA with Ancestry.com and your fucking cell phone data. I'm saying the government's ran by fax machine, David. We had to fucking auto-generate.
They use Ancestry to see what DNA we need to get you.
They know exactly what to do. They have your blood. They can genetically test you for the fucking predispositions for certain cancers and just hit you with that cancer in your fucking water. In your water. They can give you cancer in your water outside your house. No one else in the neighborhood would get it, David, obviously. Why did no one else get the cancer? Oh, I don't know.
Genetics. It's all genetic.
I don't know. How'd the genetics get there, David? Free will? Sam Harris is smart enough to know that if he tells you long enough that you don't have free will, you'll actually believe it. It's called reverse psychology and Stockholm syndrome. These people are politically fucking they're psychopaths. The guy is a psychopath. I'm part psychopath, David. I know him. I know my own kind. I can sniff him out. He's got a terrible hairline on top of it.
Well, that was part of MK Ultra, wasn't it?
Dave, that doesn't exist. Go back to sleep, America. Sports and ADHD. Other than myself, David, I took the kid somewhere. I'm not going to say which, just in case, aliens. But I was noticing, David, all these kids, we're all here for a same sports activity, and they're all zooming, dude. Like, jumping up and down, fucking standing on their hands, dude, reading a fucking book and a tablet and making fun of their friend and punching and fucking, they're counting in fucking Korean on their fists. Like, dude, their names are written in other languages. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm just looking around like, yeah, these are my people, And I was like,
they have ADHD.
We're fucking crazy. Yeah, I literally in that room, I was like, if you were to Sam Harris would say we all got ADHD.
They must in reality, medicated.
Yeah, right? Yeah. All I saw in my mind was a bunch of people that are so motivated they just can't sit fucking still. They just want stimulation. I just want to do shit and go places and see things and kick stuff and bend over and fucking flip and just piss shit off. I don't even care if I go to Taekwondo, get my ass whooped. I just want to go there. And then you go there, get your ass whooped. You're like, not doing that again. We don't have ADHD. I'm starting to think Alexander the Great would have ADHD. I'm starting to think like Mao Zedong, ADHD. Hitler, ADHD. Clearly ADHD, David. He just can't sit still.
He really did. He was like, I'm going to draw some art. And then he's like, fuck it, take over the world. That's the ultimate.
ultimate ADHD. Ultimate bipolar, dude.
Big squirrel.
That's it.
Global takeover squirrel.
That's it. Just ADHD. He was just super bored. He's like, what? I could probably take over the world. I'm going to try that. What are we going to do today, Hitler? Today, Pinky? Today we take over the world. And then he closed his little water tower and fucking got his Nazi gold. Anyways, it just really was funny to me that I criticized the kid for being too fucking rambunctious. I'm looking around as these little trained fighters just fucking backflipping off everything like, what are we doing, dude? We just have sugared, stimulated animals. I'm going to tell this kid to go sit the fuck down somewhere. We're telling these kids to go sit down.
Everyone take a seat, please.
Dude, I can't sit down. I can't sit still. I realized, dude, I was so bad at sitting still. I didn't learn how to spell right. I spell how the word looks, dude.
Pohanix.
What's on Phoenicians, dude? I'm not fucking Greek. I'm not fucking Greek. Is this Sanskrit, dude? Fucking Latin stopped being taught fucking 50 years ago.
You'd be fucked in Egypt in your 2,000-foot hieroglyphic pyramid.
They're speaking of hieroglyphs. I got Latin. Like,
trying
dude,
to
you're
sound
200
it out. You're
years
like, fucking symbols. How do I sound this out?
The bird, gold, fuck. Like, I'm looking for the bathroom. They point you to the pyramid. Then you're arrested for shitting on the Great Pyramid. You disrupt all the energy production in the whole area. The solar panels down. What if the Great Pyramid was a solar panel? That'd be fucking sweet. That limestone would get hot. Oh my God, David. It would get hot. It was white, dude, in the middle. What if the thing was a solar? A 3-sided solar panel? A diamond solar panel?
They're still 4-sided.
A 4-sided solar panel diamond.
Are they 4? Wait, hold on. Did I make that up? They're 4 sides, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, they're not 3 sides.
4-sided solar panel? Huh? No? Nobody?
No, I don't think so. That's ridiculous, right?
Maybe the free will of the limestone prevents it, or the genetics. Hey, how about we go ask those dire wolves over there? What do they think? Just Veep, guys. Let me get this straight. You have all the data for everybody. You know, every place I've ever been. You could tell my blood type from outer space. You could print a fucking gargoyle out the ass end with glow-in-the-dark monkey genes. But Bill Gates is definitely not going to build a synthetic skin to climb his consciousness into, plug an all-powerful AI robot into to take over and enslave humanity. He's doing it all for the goodwill, people. For free will. Bill Gates has the free will to set us all free, David. You see that? Sam Harris is doing this because he loves us. Because we don't have free will, so I'm just telling you don't have free will. On my own free will, I'm telling you this. I can't wait. Nuremberg 2.0. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble. This is our 1 year stream of live show of the weekly show on Rumble. So as David, I appreciate you being there for us, all of our audience as well. You guys are the real MVP, and my support system that I have closest to me. You above all else, David. We couldn't do this without you. As always, I appreciate you most for your time. I'll see everybody later. Dave Ryan, December 17th. Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble, goddammit.
Do you mind, by the way, everyone watching, do you mind? Like, subscribe, do all that bullshit too. Only if you don't mind. If you don't mind. Only if you don't mind.
If you like the video, share the video. If you have enough free will, share the video, talk about the video, bye-bye. Fucking
bye-bye.
What's up, my chigga? Chigga.
Ryan, you can't say that. Come on.
What, should I use the end variant?
Gotta go.
Nah.